Affirmative, because we have massive gun control being introduced in places like Colorado and California, New Jersey, Illinois, Connecticut as well. Today, Gun Owners Lobby Day in the state. Have with us on the program right now from the National Shooting Sports Foundation, Mr. Jake McGuigan, who's been at the Capitol in Hartford. Jake, how you doing, sir?
I'll talk to you tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, listen, I saw some pictures that NSSF posted up on their blog a short time ago, and it looked like the Capitol was thronged with gun owners.
Yeah, we had in conjunction with, obviously, NRA, CCTL, which is Connecticut Citizen Defense League, and then Connecticut Coalition of Sportsmen, we had a huge turnout. We were probably over 3,000 people came to the Capitol today to meet with their legislators and go around to their offices and deliver information. What we wanted was make this more of an event to be active. A lot of people do rallies and various other things, but we wanted to actually get the people to go into their legislator's office and deliver information and, get a face-to-face meeting if they could, for the ones that actually showed up at the Capitol today.
Well, yeah, I understand some legislators were a little sparse, a little difficult finding some of these guys.
Yeah, it was amazing. I guess they didn't want to work this Monday for a particular reason, or maybe had saw the alerts that went out and decided to dodge, not only take away your Second Amendment rights, but I guess they didn't want to allow you your First Amendment rights and speak with them either. So, we're seeing more and more of that as this process moves forward, that they're very secretive in nature. In the whole negotiation process and cutting the industry. We have a lot of manufacturers here in Connecticut, and and the NRA and gun owners out of the mix. So it's not a good situation here in Connecticut, but we're trying our best to get our voice heard and get everyone else's voice heard, each and every day.
Jake, what have you heard about the timing of things? Know that, again, just as in New York and in Colorado, time is of the essence for the gun control advocates. They want to get something through sooner rather than later, because the longer we talk about it, frankly, the less popular their ideas are. We've even seen this in New York State, where support for the SAFE Act has declined. Approval rating for Governor Cuomo has declined about 20 points since the passage of the SAFE Act. So what are they looking like in terms of actually holding votes on these bills, Jake?
To be honest with you, there is no process in Connecticut. They have so many things going on with e-certification process and over 100 pieces of legislation dealing with gun control that there really isn't a process. As of right now, there are negotiations between the leadership on the House and the Senate, and then the minority leadership as well, and then even the governor's office. If they come to census, I fear that they'll just put this thing in a bill and emergency certify it, and have no more public hearings or process. Right now, there is this Thursday in the Public Safety Committee in Hartford. Surprisingly, they scheduled our lobby day, hoping, I would imagine, that the gun owners wouldn't come out twice in 1 week.